Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. So for our quick little 1 minute agent etiquette tip of the day to kick off the class, we are talking about what best practices when you're hosting an open house for another agent. And since a lot of you on this call this morning are new agents, a lot of it when you volunteer to host an open house for someone else, it's not necessarily always yours if you don't have the listings yet. So just a few things you should do. And Patty, I love that you're on this call because you can share if you have any feedback. But if a listing agent has been so kind as to let you hold their open house for them, like that is a favor to them if they needed it held open and they didn't have the time. But really, they're doing a favor to you and giving you this business opportunity. And you need to think of it that way and think of everything that you can do to serve both the seller and the listing agent, right? So that after all is said and done, and it's the Monday after, the Tuesday after, that listing agent is like, wow, Gavin did an awesome job. And if I ever need someone to help me with an open house again, I'm for sure calling him. So here are the things that you need to do. You need to, number one is just communicating with the listing agent, right? Like, don't just say, I'll hold it open and then don't share with them what you're doing. Like, communicate every step of the way, like talk about how you're going to market it. If that's okay with them, make sure they're getting proper credit. Just confirm whatever it is that they're okay with you doing. Clarify who's going to keep the leads. Generally speaking, if you're hosting the open house and you meet a buyer, that's your buyer, but just be clear about that. Ask if their seller has any preferences about the house or the showing, or what they need to know. Ask about the house, of course, that you can tell stories about it. Keep in touch with the seller, with the listing agent. It's always nice to say, hey, if the open house starts at 1, say, hey, in the morning, like, I just dropped off 2 directional signs for this afternoon. And then say, okay, I'm here, I'm getting started, everything's great. Just keep in touch, right? So that they feel good about putting you in charge of their listing. That's a very scary thing to do when you're the listing agent, I think, is trusting your seller's house with someone else. So just do a really good job, keep in touch. And then afterwards, of course, share about the level of activity, share about any buyer feedback. If you have questions from buyers during the open house and you don't know, you can always text the listing agent and ask. And then afterwards, of course, you're following up with all the people you meet. Keep the listing agent informed if there's anyone interested. So that's the quick little spiel. These are all tips, of course, that are just what to do if you're holding someone else's open house. We have 2 videos about best practices for holding open houses in general that I encourage you to watch. One is from Jan Baldwin, which is just the basics of what you should do. And the second one is from Becky Oliver, and it's more like how to actually capture the buyers that you meet at open houses. So I encourage you to watch both of those. You would definitely need to do it before you offer to hold an open house for anyone else. So that's all I got. I'm going to get off my soapbox. We just wanted to give that little tip of the day.